Our next speaker has been Puerto Rico's resident commissioner in Washington since January 2009. One of our 4 million American citizens who reside on the island, he's the sole representative in Congress today. Wow. Please welcome our featured guest, resident commissioner of Puerto Rico. Pedro, do not get mad at me if I mess this up. The Honorable Pedro Pierluisi.
Buenas noches. Good evening. I'm honored to be here tonight, and I'm pleased to celebrate LULAC's accomplishments in the past couple of years under the leadership of Margaret Moran and Brent Wilkes. I would like to briefly discuss 2 issues with you. The first one is the need to create a reasonable path to U.S. citizenship for millions of undocumented immigrants in the United States by enacting comprehensive immigration reform. The other is the imperative to create a path to full and equal U.S. citizenship for the 3.6 million American citizens residing in Puerto Rico by enacting federal legislation to facilitate the territory's transition to a democratic and dignified political status. LULAC is to be commended for its moral clarity on both subjects, which raise fundamental questions about the nature of our democracy and the meaning of American citizenship. As a member of the House Judiciary Committee, I strongly support comprehensive immigration reform that includes a path to citizenship. I also support enhanced but sensible border security, not only along our nation's southwest and northern borders, but also in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, which together constitute our nation's Caribbean border. America has always been and remains today a work in progress. And since the country's founding, the hard work of perfecting our union has often been carried out by courageous men and women born outside of America, immigrants from other shores who chose to leave behind everything and everyone they know, who came here in search of economic opportunity or to escape poverty or persecution, and whose character, passion, and talent have enriched the life of this nation and replenished its spirit. These men and women are the lifeblood of our economy. Without them, this country could not function. They deserve a chance to become citizens of the nation that their labor has helped build and sustain. And so, it is vital for political leaders to give them that chance by enacting sensible, comprehensive, effective immigration reform legislation. I am Puerto Rican, and as such, I am a natural-born American citizen. But I can relate to the experience of undocumented immigrants in this country. Those of us who are from Puerto Rico know how it feels to be treated differently because of our place of birth. Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, but our citizenship is second class. Like our immigrant brothers and sisters, we too aspire to be treated equally by the country to which we have given so much. And we're making our aspirations heard loud and clear. In November 2012, Puerto Rico exercised its right to self-determination by holding a free and fair vote on our political status. The results demonstrate that a clear majority of my constituents do not wish to maintain the current status, which deprives us of the most fundamental political and civil rights, and which is the root cause of the island's serious economic problems. The results further demonstrate that for the first time in Puerto Rico's history, there are more people who want Puerto Rico to become a state than who want Puerto Rico to continue under the status quo. When I addressed LULAC's convention last summer in Las Vegas, I said it was essential for the federal government to respond to this vote in appropriate fashion. I am now pleased to report that the federal government has taken unprecedented action. Last year, at my urging, President Obama asked Congress to provide $2.5 million to enable Puerto Rico to conduct the first federally sponsored plebiscite in its history in order to resolve the territory status. And earlier this year, Congress approved that funding with bipartisan support. Although the federal law does not prescribe the way the ballot should be structured, it does require the U.S. Department of Justice to ensure that any option on the ballot is compatible with U.S. laws and policy. Now that the federal government has discharged its duty, I have proposed that the available funding be used to conduct a vote on Puerto Rico's admission as a state. This approach is straightforward, would yield a definitive result, and is fair, since those who support the admission can vote yes, and those who oppose it can vote no. It is the same approach that was followed by Alaska and Hawaii, the last territories to become states. And I know that LULAC will continue to be a leading voice in the fight to deliver justice to the U.S. citizens of Puerto Rico, just as it will continue to take a principled stand in support of reforming our nation's immigration laws in a smart and humane fashion. Que viva LULAC y que viva Puerto Rico, the 51st state of the Union. Thank you. Buenas noches.